like to talk to people that disagree with me.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's just a civil conversation. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I believe it's a cop-out for poor decisions. And the reason being is, so there are exceptions to every rule, but less than 1% of abortions are in the case of grape. We say grape on YouTube. So I'm not talking about the 1% of cases, I'm talking about the majority. The reason I think this is because 40% of women that get an abortion have had 2 or more abortions. So to me, it's saying you're not being responsible at this point, and they're not tracking the 60% to see how many get abortions in the future. To me, it's you didn't make a good decision.
When it first happens, or something like that, when there's a woman who's got single kids and it's going to make a wealth gap. That's the thing in America.
So that's
the thing. So with the people with they're rich, aren't they? They're just going to get it done illegally, are they not?
So that's a really
the poor people. Do you know what I mean?
So that's a really big misconception. Okay, so only 8% of women below the poverty line get abortions. 1 out of 3 women that make $47,000 per year actually are getting an abortion. On top of that, in the U.S., Planned Parenthood, which is the #1 provider of abortions, it's a racist organization started by a eugenicist. So she referred to black people as weeds.
I just think for it to be illegal is complete regression in society.
So tell me why.
Because
my body, my choice. Do you know what I mean? Let me do what I need to do.
Why should men or whatever? Why should they decide? Do you know what I mean? Like, why is that a law? Why is that even a thing?
This is a common argument I hear, which is the my body, my choice. So you can talk in a second too. Come on, stay there. If you want to be interviewed next, you can. Sorry, I forgot what you said last.
No, just like that it's a regression in society. Do you not think my body, my choice, everything, all of that?
So my body, my choice, right?
Pardon?
Do you believe in abortion up to birth? So if I'm 8 months pregnant.
No, I believe obviously, but so you believe life starts at conception? Is that what you believe?
Yeah. When do you believe that?
No, I think when it's what the law is, when it's like
up to 6 months. Yeah. Is that's what you believe? So here's the thing: an abortion is legal in the UK at 24 weeks. And the earliest child to survive a pregnancy is 21 weeks. So you're aborting children that hypothetically could survive on their own outside the womb.
Do you think that child that was going to be born could, like, the life that it's going to live, do you think it's going to live a good life? And then isn't that actually being cruel to this child that would be born?
My question is, do you believe that poor children are less valuable?
They're not less valuable. They're just not going to have a good value of life.
So why should I put a child on this earth that's going to not have a good quality of life when I could give it a good quality of life when I'm prepared in the future?
Good quality of life.
I have 2 things. One, the majority of abortions are with women that make over $47,000 per year. So it's not an income thing. Only 8% of women.
Anything, do they? I don't. When you're firing back at these facts, they don't mean anything.
You're not a person like you. Do you earn 47 grand a year? Like, do you earn that? Would you have a baby right now? Could you do that?
Because to me, I don't think you should be having sex if you can't afford a child. And if you are, then why can't you get an IUD? So or why can't you get an IUD? Birth control in the UK is free.
Sometimes doesn't always work, does it?
But this is a common argument I hear, which is we talk about exceptions rather than the rule. If you you call it the coil here. I think can I finish my sentence? So the coil here is 99% effective.
You're actually really good at debating. I
yeah.
To say that.
So
so good at debate.
It's all our facts. Here's
the thing. I'm not trying to clickbait you. I don't edit it out. I know you guys are just walking into this. I don't expect you to have all facts. I just like to understand why you believe what you believe.
But do you not understand our point? Like the people that are against it, do you not understand their point of view?
I think their point of view is often it's my body, my choice, right? But I'm saying when you take that to the extreme, it doesn't make sense.
Have you had sex, Pearl?
I'm not a virgin.
So you've had sex. What if you had a baby right now?
So here's the thing. One, if I got pregnant, I would keep it because to me, I don't believe in abortion, and I have a brother, right? And my mom got pregnant when she was a teenager, and she gave him up for adoption. And so to me, it's like.
And do you think that's a life? Adoption, usually kids that are in adopted care, it's not a good life in that sense.
No, he had a great life. He's married, pregnant.
Yes, he had a great life.
Doesn't mean a lot of kids are going to drugs. There's a lot of things like that.
I just want you to when you say things like that, it's the same argument people use for eugenics. Do you know what eugenics is?
No.
So eugenics is basically when you're getting a more pure population. And so a lot of times people would bring things like low IQ people need to be exterminated, like poor people need to be exterminated. And when you're using the argument of if they have a bad life, that's how eugenicists use to make their point. Because you're implying that like poor people have less of a right to life than rich people.
No, we're not implying that at all.
To do with it.
If that baby is born when it could have been aborted, that could lead into a worse life. That could have been prevented.
Right. So you don't think that's saying that poor people should have a less of a right to life than rich people?
It's not about poor or rich. Like, it's about quality of life. That has nothing to do. You could be poor and still have a good quality of life. Like, that has nothing to do with it. But like the baby, like, it's quality of life. Like, you don't know if it's going to be rich. You don't know if it's going to be poor. You don't know where it's going to end up, and you can't just give birth to it. Because what if it's not a good life? Like, some people can't even look after themselves, yeah, and you're putting a baby with them.
Okay, this is the one thing that people don't understand about street interviews. I am always excited to talk to you guys. If you see me on the street, whatever, I am so down to talk. But if I'm doing an interview, it hurts the quality of the interview when you guys interrupt me when I am talking to the first person. So if you want to come up, that's fine. But you have to like wait your turn respectfully. Love you guys. But I get so hey, we're doing an interview. I'd love to interview you guys next. I'd love to here. But so again, only 8% of women below the poverty line. So the majority. Do you not think facts matter?
Well, not in when this is the fact
other
of the
people's
matter is
circumstances.
that's becoming illegal now. Think of all the things that are going to happen in America. It's gonna be terrible.
Why is that your thought that what's gonna happen?
The
There's a
world.
reason it was unlegalized in the first place, like because
it wasn't
happening.
It wasn't unlegalized. You might not know how the U.S. government works, but it's not illegal in the U.S.
It's not illegal. But
no, so the way it works in the U.S. is it's state by state. So you elect officials to represent you in each state, and that way, if you're a pro-life person, you can move to a state that's pro-life. If you're pro-choice, you can move to a state that's pro-choice.
So why should you have to move to a state? Well, why can't you just?
Well, that's how the U.S. government works. Is you have different laws in every state.
So, okay, let's go to the rape argument.
So again, less than 1% of abortions. This is my channel. And we don't talk about exceptions. We're talking about the rule.
So you don't talk about
We're talking because this is what people often will try to make an argument using the exception when we're talking about the rule. I'm asking you to respectfully. We're not talking about that exception.
But what? So okay, but that you don't have.
So no, because
That's still part of it. I don't get how you can come here and not want to talk about the exception.
Because 99% of abortions are not in the case of rape. So we're talking about the 99%.
I have nothing to argue. I have nothing to say.
I'm saying for the 99%, that's the argument I'm making. For the 99% of abortions that are not rape, it is a cop-out because they made poor decisions.
Is that what you think about with rape? You think that?
Grape, say grape, you too.
What do you think then? I'm asking what is your opinion on grape and that?
Because I think you're trying to make an argument. I think you're trying to make an argument for the exception rather than the rule. And so this because it's less than 1% of cases. But this is because I'm not talking about that. I could see a potential policy for exceptions, but I'm talking about the rule. And I would say
These are just little things you're making. They don't even exist.
They don't, what do they not exist?
It's a human construct that this the rule and the exception. It's still part of it. Do you not see what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm talking about. This is the argument I'm making. I know, but this is you could do that on your channel. On my channel, we're talking about the 99% of abortions that are outside of that case.
You'll have most people here are going to talk about that 1%.
Yeah, I know, and I don't think it's a good argument. That's the thing.
You can't even argue about it, so it clearly is a good argument because you're dumb for. You don't know what to say.
Because I have an opinion on it, but we're not talking. I wouldn't say Okay, I can do what I want on my channel. This is the entire
in life, forget about the channel.
Yeah. But I'm here. This is a job. So again, you're coming to my job and saying you need to talk about what I want on your channel.
No, well, it's just.
Okay. Would you agree that the 99% of cases it's a cop out outside of?
Not at all.
No.
This isn't. I don't think you're going to change many people's minds in the UK. Coming here, it's actually offending many people.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, no, it is. Look at how many people have walked past. That's why we came over.
No one's fault. I literally ran across the road. I was like, what is on her? What are you doing? Sorry, no offense to you. You're allowed to have your own choice in it,
but we were in shock. That's why we came over, because it's ridiculous. It's crazy that you're kind of brainwashed almost. That's our opinion.
So
We
women can- you-
America is brainwashed. They are crazy.
It's so cultish.
They are honestly.
Women can have an opinion that doesn't agree with yours.
An opinion.
You're right, but no, I'm saying I don't think you're brainwashed because you have your opinion. So it's a little bit offensive when you say that I'm brainwashed because I disagree with.
Because it.
I don't think you're brainwashed. I think you just have your opinion.
I think in the respect that you're saying ignore that. I think that's why. I think that ignore that exception. That's made us think.
The argument I'm making isn't in the cases of grape. That's not the argument. I'm saying in 99% of cases, it is a cop-out.
But it's not going to change.
That's your
Sorry for
opinion.
offending you.
It's okay. And this is the thing. I'm not offended. And I think a lot of girls are afraid they're going to hurt my feelings. Ladies, I do this every day. I am not offended. The point is to show you that you have a flaw in logic. And it's very frustrating to me when if I say I am pro-life, they try to degrade everything that I said before. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them if the facts, the data, the statistics are all on my side. It's still, oh, well, you're pro-life, you're brainwashed, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, what's your name?
You can call me Mali.